Sarcasm Speaks. Joe and Bob coming at you with Jones today.
Yo,
I think this is back-to-back Sundays, right?
think so.
Yeah, it's nice when you're not in the fucking armpit of America, huh?
Sure is.
Yeah. Have you gone back to your other job that you had, like your full-time job that you had before you got deployed?
Yeah, I started the first. I think it was the first.
Okay.
So like everything got fucked up because I was only on the job 2 weeks before they told me to fuck off.
Yeah, I remember you were very short-lived there before you got the
Yeah,
call.
yeah. So I'm working with the government. So it's like, oh yeah, we have like $1 billion fucking dollars to spend on your fucking laptop and your fucking ID and all this nonsense. So now that I'm back, I have to do all this other bullshit. So I'm kind of just like doing small little things for everybody, just running reports and stuff. But I mean, it's good to not be in Jersey. It's very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. I'd rather have to do paperwork and, pain in the ass shit than be in New Jersey with a bunch of fucking refugees. So,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
hey, it's not bad. But yeah,
Yeah, you
no,
get to see.
I was wondering that because I that was my thought that you had really only been on that new job, like you just started. And then you were like, hey, cool, I'm getting deployed.
Yeah, I think it was actually was legitimately 2 weeks before I got told to fuck off. So it's good to be back into like the swing of things, get back to my own like bed, my own routine again. Um, well, it's nice get to grow out the trash hawk, the beard and stuff. So it's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, but officer school.
Yeah, 4 more years.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, dude.
Was it
Well,
4 or
well,
6 for that?
4.
4. Yeah, fuck that.
well, you got to get you. Well, really, you got to get to 20 because then you get your 20 years in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone told me that. I was like, oh my, like, because I just tell people at the gym all types of shit. I'm like, oh, my buddy's back, whatever. He goes, oh, is he gonna do his 20? Hey, what's 20? He goes, oh, like 20 years in. I'm like, no, he's not because he's fucking done. But I'm like, what the is 20 years like something
That
that's like, is that something that's common knowledge that people like just throw around
Yeah.
like casually like that?
Yeah, 20 years in the military, it's to get your full pension, right?
yeah, full pension, full like healthcare, all that crap.
Okay.
Still, I mean, I'll be in 10 years, which is the longest job I've had forever. So that's something, right? So I'll get a portion of it. But yeah, I'm just done with the fuckery. I'm done with like just just all of it, just the bureaucratic bullshit. So March 5th is my last day, and
See ya. So hopefully we don't well, I think we're past the point of having to go to war, but hopefully no bullshit, no other bullshit happens between then. Yeah, because I guess China and Taiwan kind of is still kicking around over there, but um I saw the Ukraine shit's like pretty much done. I saw something today that by they I mean Zelensky and Putin have gotten really close to a ceasefire, and whatever article that I saw, I forget where it was, they said they expect everything to be over within the next 2 to 3 days. So that's cool, I guess.
So all that for that,
Yeah, yeah.
all the fucking outrage, all the shaking fists,
Yeah.
all those profile pictures.
Yep. Now, that certainly doesn't mean that shit's not still going to be fucked up over there. And it also probably doesn't mean that Russia's going to like completely vacate the area. But I think what they're agreeing to is at least a ceasefire. So
Okay.
no more fighting.
well, I mean, in fairness, they did agree to 3 other ceasefires, and they didn't abide by
Right.
said.
Yeah, yeah. They tried to allow Ukrainian refugees to leave. And then the Russians were like, Yeah, I know we told you we were going to let people leave on this like one road. They agreed to like whatever the one road was or through like one town. And they were like, yeah, so we know everyone's going through there, but we're going to fuck shit up and like shoot a bunch of bullets and throw a bunch of bombs over there anyway. And we're going to kill a bunch of innocent people because we don't really care. They did that 3 times. So,
It must just be misunderstood.
Yeah, it's probably a lost in translation thing. Ukrainian and Russian probably, isn't similar. Like
there's no journalists over there.
Yeah, so. No.
That's what I've been told. No journalists.
Yeah.
They didn't fine print on the ceasefire.
Yeah. See, it's like this way. It's like a dialectal thing. Like this one word in Ukrainian that means stop actually means go in Russian. So that's where the hang up is right there.
Classic.
Yeah.
They should all be speaking Latin.
They should.
That way it would just be one language.
Yeah. We should all just use one language, right? Why not Latin?
Are you?
Yeah, why not?
Right? Why not? Why not Latin?
Fucking joke that some of the kids have to take that.
Yeah. So some of my favorite memes now though are well, I mean, I love everything on the internet, most things on the internet, but like so obviously gas is wicked fucking expensive. I think we've
so can we
have we talked about that?
Can we just get that down? Like, no, I don't want. See, this is the thing though. It's like I don't want to actually talk about that because then it gets into like, oh, well, Trump had it down and the pipeline and this, and like everyone's a fucking gas expert now.
Yeah.
And it's like everyone's got it figured out.
Well, everyone. So actually, I want to give a huge shout out to Sexy Chris. I posted the link that he sent to me on our Instagram story. It's a YouTube link from a clip from the Bill Maher show. It was like 8 minutes long, but it's amazing. Bill Maher. I'm up and down on Bill Maher. Like he does some things really good and other things I don't really agree with him on. But I mean, I guess that's most people. So I guess in that vein, he's probably actually pretty good. But this whole video, like the whole premise of this clip that he was doing was that everyone is making their shit about them. And it's called like the World War of Me. So it's like, and he took clips and he talked about headlines of people taking everything and twisting it to like fit their whatever they care about, right? So like there was a headline in like the New York Times that said like the fight in Ukraine is really representative of the fight for LGBTQ plus rights. And it's like, nope, you're making that about you. And then another one.
Doesn't Russia just want some land that Ukraine has? Isn't that what that's about?
Yeah, Ukraine used to be part of Russia. It used to be part of the Soviet Union. And then the Soviet Union disbanded. Ukraine became its own country. And now Russia's like, we want that land back.
And how does that have anything to do with the LGBT?
Yep.
Aren't there some more letters now too?
Yeah, LGBTQAIP plus whatever the fuck squared.
Tankleton was telling me there's it's asexual is included now, and
well, they just throw a plus sign on the end just for like because they don't want to go they rather than risk like actually admitting how ridiculous it is. Now it's just LGBTQ plus because otherwise it would be like LGBTQAIP. I forget what's after.
Isn't one of them
AIP.
I don't know what I is. It's like,
who knows?
Intersexual. I have no idea.
Probably intersexual. I think the P is pansexual, but eventually like you'll have the whole fucking alphabet. So now they just use the plus sign because they're like, guys, let's pump the brakes a little bit. So there was that one. Then there was another one that was some Republican senator that was talking about like, well, this would not have happened if Donald Trump was in office because of XYZ. And then there was another headline from, I don't know, like the Washington Post that said, Putin invades during Biden's presidency. However, the reason can be traced back to Trump. And it's like, so Bill Maher spent 8 minutes, like in this clip, this bit of just shredding everybody because he was like, what you're doing is you're making this about you. Like that's the only thing people can do right now. So it's like the people that hate Trump are saying like, well, this is Trump's fault. The people that hate Biden are saying, well, this is Biden's fault. The people that don't really care about either, but they care about LGBTQ plus rights are like, well, this is the representative of a battle for LGBTQ plus rights. And then there was like 5 or 6 other things in there too, that he was just calling everybody out and was like, you guys are ridiculous. Like, do you not see what's going on? He goes, this doesn't have to be about you. This can just be about a conflict, about a guy who's an asshole meeting Putin and like trying to take over territory that doesn't belong to his country. Like it can just be that. It's allowed to just be that. It doesn't have to somehow intertwine into what you believe in.
It all has to be nuanced though, Jared. You're not getting it.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand the nuance.
It's like when we were in English class and it's like, what did Ron Swanson, how did he describe Moby Dick? He goes, oh, is Moby Dick something or other? Or is it just about a guy who hates a fish or something? And he said, so I forget exactly the quote, obviously. But I always remember in English class, because they always wanted it to be like, well, what's the theme? And why was the flower blue? Because the blue flower is different.
What are the motifs?
And it's like, God, this is so annoying. And me, unknowingly, of course, I fucking do this because we all know how I was as a student: stubborn, smart, but I didn't try. Like history class, I would literally sit there not taking notes, and they'd be like, "Oh, Bob, you want to take notes?" I'm like, "Don't think so."
Nah, I'm good.
That stuff's gonna be on the test. I'm like, "Yep, I know that."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Well, okay, well, we'll see on the test." I go, "Yeah, we will." And if I don't do all that good, maybe I'll take some notes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't, I'm not fucking listening to whatever. And, but like English class, it was like, we were supposed to pick a song, any song, just pick a song and you're going to write a paper about like the themes and the things you find and whatever. So I pick, Lost Boys by the 69 Eyes. Obviously, just pick a song, whatever. I write this paper, theme this, that, whatever, looking for bullshit, whatever. And she goes, "Hey, I graded your paper, but I just want to let you know. I think that song's about a movie called The Lost Boys." And I'm like, huh. She goes, "Yeah, I didn't really expect that to happen. Like, usually the songs have something that they can go with. My song had nothing because it was about a movie that I didn't know existed."
Sick.
So of course me, no shit, me. Like, I picked the song
of all the songs that exist in the world.
Of any song that I could have picked, I could have fucking found lyrics and broke it down, and she would have been like, "Hey, nice job." Nope, I had to find I had to pick a song that was about a movie that I had never seen before, never knew it existed. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, this is pointless. This is a pointless fucking class.
Scratch as the intellectual.
Yeah.
Oh God. It was just like, I always like that, because that used to piss me off in English class. Like, what does this represent? I'm like, dude, the red shirt represents fucking clothing. Like,
yeah.
A garment.
But why did the author give him the red shirt? Like, I don't know.
And like half the time you need to know, it's like, or there would be times too where it's like, the shirt's red because of blood. Well, actually, the author grew up in the Soviet bloc. So
yeah.
And I'm like, how the fuck was I supposed to know that?
Yeah.
So really, it represents communism. What the fuck?
Yeah.
How the fuck was I supposed to pick that up? And like, how do you teach that? Like, how is your class English and you teach like that can't be taught? Or I guess what's the lesson? Every time you read a book, you gotta know everything about the author. Like,
yeah, or like you just have like random shit.
Like what was there supposed to be? Like, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah. Like, how are you supposed to know random made up stuff? Because it's literally made up.
Yes.
Like the author made up this story.
Yes.
And then I would be like, I don't know, has anyone asked the author what the red shirt means? Like maybe he was getting fucking paid by word and he decided he needed to have more words in. Cause that was was that Twain? Or no, Charles Dickens. So like if you go
Tale
back,
of Two Cities, best of times, the worst of
yeah,
times.
yeah. If you
See, I
go
know
back
fucking English
and look at all of like the works of Charles Dickens, it was a thing back in his time that they would pay you per word. So all of like reading Charles Dickens is a pain in the fucking ass because he's such a wordy writer. Like he uses way too many words to like describe and talk about shit, but it's because that's how he got paid.
They should have had the fucking lawyers write books. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Talk about fucking extraneous words.
Yeah.
I wonder if they do that with like scientific papers to get paid by the word, because that is a fucking nightmare.
Oh my God.
Scientific papers suck dick.
I had to read a couple, and I'm not even like it. This is exercise science. Like I understand most of the words in it, but like I had to do some CEUs last week to beginning of the month. And I'm just like, this is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like we could be so much clearer and conciser and people might actually read these fucking things.
Yeah. That's the one thing that like, you're just an asshole. Like I used to say that all the time about Cressy, like the way he used to like talk and use words and shit. And it's like, dude, you're an asshole. Like you just sound like an asshole. You're using big words because you want people to think you're smart. Like, so Jones, there was this one guy, well, he's massively successful in the fitness world.
He also is super fucking smart, but
he is very smart, but he's a cunt. So when he speaks to people and talks about things, he uses like all of like the high level, like kinesiology terms and like next level anatomy shit, being like, well, your levator scapulae, you know, seems to be, or the origin of your levator scapulae seems to be what's causing you this problem. And so as a result, we need, it's like, dude, just be like, yeah, man, your neck's tight. So why don't you hop on this lacrosse ball and like fix it? You know what I mean? Like, don't be a fucking dickhead. Don't be a cunt. And like, this guy is a huge cunt.
Jeez, I didn't know we were going to get Eric Cressy hate today.
Oh yeah. I don't like him at all.
Those people are the worst. Also, can I break some news?
Sure.
So I don't know if you guys just saw in the players, but I think Tom's coming back to Tampa.
Really?
Is he?
I think so. I just saw a thing like just like flash by my screen.
Hold on.
Because I know he was in
Yeah. Tom Brady just posted on Twitter.
He went to the Man U Tottenham game.
Oh yeah, no, he's
oh yeah. So here it is.
Yeah, he's coming back.
He went to the Man U Tottenham game because I think the Glazer family owns Tottenham United in the English league.
Dude, it's pronounced Tottenham.
Yeah, Tottenham, whatever. Just like Stoneham.
Yeah, no one calls it Stoneham.
Yeah, no. So so Big Jim Murray from 98.5 The Sports Hub was saying, I'm convinced he went there to talk about a comeback and you can't convince me otherwise or something like that. And everyone was like giving him shit. Right. And now here we are a day later after he was at that game. Cause he talked to Ronaldo. There was reports of like, he met Cristiano Ronaldo on the field and Ronaldo was like, oh, you're done, right? You're retired. And Brady was, I don't know, probably. It was his response. So now like the whole story for the last 24 hours has been Tom Brady's coming back. But I have to say and give credit to Incarcerated Bob, because there's a name that hasn't been spoken on this podcast in a long time, but it's also like
Incarcerated Bob.
I'm a big Incarcerated Bob fan. Like midweek, I feel like Tuesday, somewhere around Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, he tweeted out that Tom Brady was coming back. And everyone was like, what do you mean? So sometimes Incarcerated Bob says some just absurd shit, but sometimes he's got like the in somehow, Some
He's
fucking
always
how.
he's plugged in.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I don't either. I don't know who he knows, but he knows his shit.
Yeah. And now here we are, Tom Brady. These past 2 months, I've realized my place is still on the field and not in the stands. I'm coming back for my 23rd season in Tampa. Unfinished business. LOL.
I mean, they tagged Godwin, so I mean, he'll probably be fine. Like that, they're still the best team that did.
Yeah.
Yo, and now the Saints don't have a quarterback.
Right.
Although 3 first rounders for Deshaun Watson might not sound so bad.
I know. I'm trying to I'm trying to see if I can search incarcerated Bob's tweets.
Ian Mack is unhappy.
Yeah, I would imagine Ian would be pretty upset because he was talking about how once Brady retired, his Falcons would be the favorite in the NFC South.
Hot take.
I mean, I don't think it's that hot, right? Because the Saints don't have a quarterback. The Bucks didn't have a quarterback. The Panthers don't have a quarterback. You know, so it's like the Falcons were at least, I don't know, they should be the best. They should be the best team in the NFC South with no Brady.
I mean, Tampa also has a really good defense though too.
Yeah.
And they just got him back. They still have Mike Evans.
Well, the only problem is that defense is going to get broken up because I think Ndamukong Suh is a free agent. And I don't think he's going to come back.
If you can replace him, that's not.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in his career, he's replaceable. Fuck, I can't. Incarcerated Bob tweets so much.
Yeah.
You see Ben Shapiro level tweet?
Probably worse. I don't know. I can't find it. But incarcerated Bob, I think, did have it first. So Brady's back. What else we got? Oh, this is funny. This kind of has to do, well, it actually does have to do with the whole Russia thing. But so I get the Roca Wave newsletter. It's I've talked about it before on the podcast. I follow them on Instagram and I get their daily newsletter and all that because they're one of like the very few news outlets that's actually like legit and like unbiased. So the other day I'm reading the thing and one of their key stories, like their headlines, was nuke pills are sold out. We have a nuke pill shortage. So I'll read this for you. So the pills that protect against nuclear radiation have sold out across much of the United States. Per the Wall Street Journal, sales of potassium iodide pills have surged since the start of the Russo-Ukrainian war. One of the pill's major producers, Anbeck, sold out after receiving orders for over 13 million pills. So it's potassium iodide. Iodine pills prevent radiation by filling the thyroid glands that typically absorb the radioactive particles. Russia has put its nuclear forces on high alert. Putin has threatened a nuclear response to the countries that interfere. But here we go. People are buying fucking nuke pills now.
I love that.
Imagine.
Like if a nuclear bomb hits here and I got my iodine, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
Got to take my potassium iodide pill. Yep,
I'm sure there's no negative side effects whatsoever for those pills either.
Yeah, exactly, right? But it's also like if you're close enough to the nuke, that pill ain't gonna do shit.
Nah, you big dead.
Yeah, you're big dead. So, I mean, luckily for us, Boston's not a big enough city for anyone to really give a shit about. So,
well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, even if they like detonate something in New York, I mean, even like all of us are done. We're all toast. Like everybody, I think probably from Virginia is probably toast at some point.
From a nuke?
Yeah.
I don't think I mean, depending on the size of it, I suppose. But I think it's only like a 10-mile radius on like a typical warhead. Like I think the ones that we dropped on Nagasaki and Okinawa,
Hiroshima.
Hiroshima. Okinawa is where the base is, right?
Yep.
I think that was a 10-mile
I mean,
bomb.
that's also 1945.
Yeah, no, that's true too. But I mean, you're just getting egregious. Like you're gonna make a bomb so big that the fucking nuke radius is like fucking 1,000 miles. Like what the fuck, dude? That's gonna be that because then you also get to the point where it's a world ender. Like just by detonating one bomb that's so big, it's gonna end the world.
Would you miss it?
Yeah.
No. Nope. I had a good run.
Good, not great.
Had an okay run. Yeah, good, not great. You know, it's fine. It's done most of the things that I want to do.
Still haven't got to Augusta National.
Yeah. You got to try and get to the country club. Those fucks. I signed up to get tickets like months ago, and I still have not gotten an email. And I check the website like once a week, and it says like, "Oh, tickets are unavailable. Tickets are unavailable." Yeah. It's like, are they going to release the tickets like a week before the tournament?
Dude, I don't know what's going on with that. They're on the secondary market, but they're expensive.
Yeah. I just want to go one day. I mean, it would be the Saturday. I would have to be, but like, I just want to fucking go. I just want to go to the US Open.
I want to fucking play there next year, the country club. But I don't know. We'll see, because the tournament thing I do.
Yeah.
They told us that we can get the country club. It's 50 grand. Whether we have 144 golfers or we have 20 golfers, it's 50 grand.
Yeah.
To go.
So at 144 golfers, it's like 350 or something. And at 100 golfers, it's $500 a person. So we were kicking around, and I think people would play it, but it won't happen this year, obviously.
Yeah, right.
But we'll see, because they took on a couple courses that they normally wouldn't have done like that. Like, so BlackRock in Hingham is on the list.
Yeah.
And I was reading the thing today, and it's $310. And I don't think I'm going to play there because I have another way to play if I really want to. But in the comments, the guy said, he goes, so this is going to depend. He goes, 310 is the max it's going to cost, but it could come down to like 250 depending on how many people sign up. So they're trying some things more like that, because before the deal always was they don't do minimums, and what was the other thing they do? They don't do minimums, and they don't do. I forget. But there were two things that they used to do so that the tour didn't get stuck footing the bill for everyone. So we'll see how it goes this year, I guess. I just fucking told them, I go, dude, if we get like a legit place like that, just make people fucking prepay it. Every other fucking golf tournament we sign up for is prepaid.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised to hear you say that, because I just assumed it was prepaid anyway.
No, because you sign up, and then once you actually play, then they run the accounts, because you have a chance to knock some money off your account.
Oh, okay.
By finishing whatever. So
right. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, they're gonna do some more of that this year, where they actually charge beforehand, and taking on some of these other venues.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That's not bad. So I was trying to remember of what the fuck we were talking about before.
Nukes.
Well, no, there was something from like a while ago, and I got tangent sided by talking about the whole Bill Maher thing, and then we went down a whole different direction. But I had a specific direction I wanted to go for that, and can't really remember.
Gas.
Oh, how everything is about you with the
Yeah,
whole
people making everything about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, gas actually is. I think that's what it was. It would be.
Should we sell gas door to door?
Expenses. Yeah, we should. Let's get a limo. Yeah, dude, oil. Fucking, we just got an oil delivery, and it was like $1,000. We got a new oil tank installed, which was bigger. So we went from because we did renovations on the house. You guys know this. Listeners probably know it, but there were two smaller oil tanks in the basement because this house, when it was originally brought here in the fucking 60s, it was a 2-family. So there was 2 oil tanks, but it's since been changed and all that shit. So we got rid of the 2 smaller oil tanks and we got one 330-gallon oil tank, and they came to deliver it and fill it up for the first time. And yeah, it cost like $1,000. So that's pretty fucking sick.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So this whole oil gas thing can get fucked, in my opinion. I paid was it $4.29 for gas the other day?
Yeah, that's what I paid last week.
Yeah, pretty fucking sick, dude. So
it's like 409 here when I filled up the other day.
Yeah. And like the funny thing about that too is like, obviously everything becomes political, right? Because that's what Bill Maher said. Everyone has to make it about themselves. But like, I love that like all the Democrats are like, well, it's because of Putin. They're like, well, it's because of Russia and the war. But like, if you go back and look, like the war started what, in January or February, whatever the fuck it was. Like in December, gas was.
They invaded 2 weeks ago.
Okay, yeah, whatever, even better. So they invaded 2 weeks ago. What was the price of gas in February? Like $3.80. You know what I mean? So like if Russia invaded Ukraine on March 1st, let's call it, the price of gas on February 1st was like $3.80 a gallon. So what happened? What was your excuse then? As everyone now is like, oh, well, no, it's Russia's fault. Oh, it's Russia's fault. It's Putin. They invaded Ukraine. They're fucking up our oil. That's why it's so expensive. And it's like, what? Does anyone actually pay attention? Like, do they think people are that stupid? Which, yeah, most people really are stupid. But like, would anybody really sit there and be like, oh, well, yeah, obviously the only reason gas is this expensive is because of Russia? It's like, no, the reason why it's, $7 a gallon in California and approaching somewhere between $4 and $5 in other places is Russia. Yeah, no, I'll buy that. But like, it's up. I saw this tweet from Only in Boston that I follow. Yeah, that's just it's called Only in Boston. They tweet like Boston shit. Let's see if I can find this. This is the part where Jared searches Twitter again. They showed like the gas prices, and oh yeah, here it is. So this was from March 3rd. Massachusetts average gas prices today on March 3rd was $3.65. So 10 days later, today's March 13th, it's over $4. So it's gone up 40 cents in 2 weeks. And then they said 1 year ago today, then being March 3rd. So on March 3rd of 2021, it was $2.65. So say the Russo-Ukrainian war started on March 1st. What happened between 265 and 365? What happened in that 1 year where it went up $1? What are you going to blame there?
Trump.
Biden was in office for 3 months.
Yeah, dude, Trump's fault.
Yeah, it's Trump's fault. Like, fuck me, dude. Shit's expensive. And I know I talked about it before a couple weeks ago, how groceries were expensive. Yeah, we talked, I think that was last Sunday, right? We talked about red meat is like rich people food now. So.
Oh, speaking of though, Ryan Johnston from 98.5 The Sports Hub, he just may have found the only way to eat top round.
Really?
Low, slow, smoke it, and then slice it for sandwiches. Because that's all like that's all roast beef is like those the tougher cuts.
Yeah.
They cook them and slice them. So pit beef, theoretically, top round, throw it on, whatever. And then you just have to slice it the right way because it's not going to be very good to eat. And I think you need a slicer. I would say even you might think you can cut that thing pretty close. I don't know, dude.
Like even the stuff I get from like Wegmans down the street, like that's London broil. Like that's tough as shit.
Yeah, at least London broil is a little bit of a better cut. Top round is just really fucking bad. It is just like so fucking tough and chewy. But yeah, so that's what he did is he threw his in the smoker today to make he called it pit beef, but I thought pit beef was on an open flame.
It generally is.
Yeah, it would say pit beef isn't smoked.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how he did it. So if you need to step down your beef game, get a maybe buy a slicer and then you can start fucking actually eating top round.
Yeah.
Jones, do you have a slicer?
I used to, and then I gave it up with the old house. My dad gave it to me like a million years ago, and I'm like,
Yeah.
when the fuck am I ever gonna use a slicer? I'll just cut my fucking hand off, which probably would be for the best. But
We're using that hand, were you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you didn't need that. Just hold the beef with your left hand when you slice it.
yeah,
You don't need that one.
actually worth a while for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if the beef prices are getting to you though, there is one way to eat top round, thinly sliced.
And you can also get a bullet smoker like you did, Dats.
Yeah, I got a whole thing for that.
Yeah. Did you use that today?
No, I built it today.
Ah.
So that this is actually a fairly decent thing. So I texted you guys after I went. So I went to Lowe's and I was just gonna buy charcoal and wood chunks just to have because I knew I wasn't gonna use it this weekend, but just to have the stuff. So I went and I'm walking out with my shit. And then I see on clearance is a little bullet smoker. And on clearance for $35. I'm like, fuck, I should buy that. I'm like, it's $35. It's regularly 90. I go, I know it's not gonna be great, but for $35, I should fucking get that. So I go back to the entrance. And it's like says like emergency exit only. I'm like, no, the door will open for me. It's they're just saying that. Nope, door doesn't open, so I can't go get a cart because I wasn't gonna go all the way out and around to get a cart to come back. I wasn't gonna do that.
Right.
So I leave the bullet smoker, and I'm leaving, and I go, I should have bought that. So I go back to work. And I also decide that I was going to buy the new bottom to the firebox for my current smoker, the big barrels guy. And it does have, so it is rusty because the guy who gave it to me just left it out. And like the little, the damper on the side doesn't work. And it's like losing material. So it does actually need to be replaced. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll buy that. So I bought that. Sitting there, I'm like, I should buy that bullet smoker. Went back, bought it. This is all on Wednesday, I think. So I bought the bullet smoker and I just like left it in the car. And I was like, look, I saw a couple reviews and people say, so again, it's a $90 smoker that I paid $35 for. So one of the big things people say temperature gauge sucks. I'm like, all right, I didn't even install it because I know it sucks. So I didn't even bother. Like,
yeah,
I'll just order like a $10 thermostat for it. So that's taken care of. People also say that the charcoal bowl, because it's solid, there's no air that comes through it, so that it's hard to like get the flame going. I'm like, all right, so I can drill some holes. That's easy, no problem there. Drilled my holes today, like,
Yeah.
no problem. Some people also say, a little bit of gasket or a sealer to, just kind of like really close everything in, keep it all in, help the temperature. I'm like, no problem. Like all this stuff, like if I bought a thermostat, gasket, sealer, a little grate for the bowl so that the charcoal doesn't sit on it, like it actually sits up. If I buy all that stuff, it might cost me $50. And now I'm into it for 85. So it's still less than the price of the smoker. And it'll
work way better.
Yeah, it'll work the way I want it to. So I'm like, that's no problem. I don't mind doing that. And then I find out that there is a whole underground of people who buy cheap smokers and mod these fucking things out.
Oh, Jesus.
This new like mod Xbox shit.
Dude, I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. So if you look, like if you just Google bullet smoker mods, like this is a thing. To the point, like people go, and I think it's like on the Brinkman model because they call it the El Cheapo Brinkman, ECB. I think it's the Brinkman model. Like it's like well understood. You install the legs backwards. So legs go on the outside, not the inside. I'm like, okay. All right, fine. Not too weird yet. And then people are like, oh, well, you can install wheels so you can wheel the thing around. I'm like, I don't need wheels on it. I do not fucking need
I don't
wheels.
need a portable smoker.
And then, well, this one is kind of portable. So it's a little bit taller than I thought. I thought it was like gonna be like a small kettle guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably like with its lid on, it's probably up to my hip. So it's not huge, but it's not in the diameter is probably 16 inches, like surface area. So
yeah.
It's a little bigger than I thought because in the box, it just really didn't show me that. Because the box was small. So it's a little bit bigger than I thought, but this thing is absolutely fucking portable. Like I can absolutely fucking bring this anywhere.
Yeah.
But to the point, like people weld, they make new holes, like they're drilling into the fucking thing. There was even one guy was like, oh, well, you get rid of this, get rid of that, weld in a new shelf, and you can put 2 pizza stones to make the ceramic plate. And I'm like, if I want a big green egg, I'll buy a fucking big green egg.
Right.
I don't want to spend $400 in learning how to weld to have a piece of shit Brinkman when I can spend $800 and get the actual big green egg or the Kamado Joe or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like some guys like, oh yeah, well they were cheap, so I bought 3 of them. I'm like, oh, you bought 3 smokers, so you're gonna put maybe $100 into each, $300. Like you can buy a good smoker for like $400 or $500. Why the fuck would you want 3 shitty ones? But like you modded them out, so sick, dude. Like
people are fucking stupid.
And it's like it's a hobby for people. Gotcha, like whatever. But I'm like, it doesn't make any damn sense.
You have way too much time on their hands.
Like, dude, you can put lipstick on a pig. Like, still a fucking pig though. Like this thing, the smoker I bought, I understand exactly what it is, and I really only want it for shorter duration stuff, or if I have a smaller cut of something and I just don't want to fire up the big barrel.
Right.
And that's it.
Makes sense.
But these people are like, they're trying to make the big green egg themselves. I'm like, it cannot be that good. Like it cannot be. No way.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me that you put a bunch of fucking pizza stones in there yourself and it's supposed to be the same thing as the fucking big green egg ceramic plate with the whole like structure of that. I drill holes right through this fucking stuff, no problem. You think I can drill a hole through a big green egg pretty easily? No, probably not.
Probably not.
There's a reason why they cost $800 to fucking $1,200.
You definitely can't drill through a Komodo Joe.
Yeah. Good luck fucking drilling through the fucking Oklahoma Joe. The entire thing is cast iron.
Yeah, yeah. Because the Komodo ones are they're all ceramic.
Yeah. That's the same
and
thing.
they're
as,
like thick ass fucking ceramic.
yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know that bullet smoker mods was like a really like an underground, almost a brotherhood, if you will. Learn that.
It's a cult.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
You didn't want to join?
Dude, I just don't care enough. Like, I don't know how to weld.
Yeah.
And if I start welding, how good is it going to be? Like I said, new thermostat, no problem. Drill some holes in the thing, sure. Lift it up with a grate, easy. I can do that. Gasket, I'll do gasket, no problem. That's easy. That's easy too. I'll actually do that. That's fine. Because the little spot for the like where the charcoal would go in, like if I'm adding, that thing's horrible. Like I can already see that that's not going to hold any fucking, like that is only going to let air escape. So like, yeah, I understand that.
Right.
Like I knew this going into it.
Right.
But I'm not creating this thing into a Frankenstein big green egg. It's going to look like fucking the first Deadpool Ryan Reynolds as opposed to the second one. Like
in the Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weapon next.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awful. But yeah, so that was something I learned. But anyway, so I got the bullet guy built today. Drilled the holes. So now I just gotta buy the stuff. And we should be in business.
I would imagine too, it would help if you wanted to smoke multiple things for different lengths and different temperatures. Right? Like if you're
Yeah, I generally cook everything at like the same-ish temperature. Generally, no, like, so don't get me wrong. It's like I could definitely utilize both at the same time if I need to. I've just never filled the big guy.
Right.
Ever. So
yeah, that thing's fucking huge.
So for like going away thing to the house, you came pretty close, I thought.
yeah, maybe I might have come close, but even then, I know I didn't fill it, or I know I didn't sit there going, "Yep, definitely need another one."
Yeah.
Honestly, the only time I've utilized multiple cooking vessels like that was when we cooked like the 50 pounds of food at Chris Healy's house before his daughter was born. But that's because the smoker we were using was small. It was really only the size of like a grill. So then I think his father brought over a bullet, and then we had maybe one other one going or something like that. So
it's not bad. It's a lot of shit I don't know. I do know, well, since in the last 20 minutes we were talking, they finally finished the players. Well, not finished, but they finished today's amount of the players. And what a fucking debacle this has been this weekend. The curse tournament. So they changed the schedule in 2019 with the Players Championship in the PGA, for anyone that hasn't figured that out. They moved it from May to March.
Yep.
And everyone's like, oh yeah, no, whatever, cool. It'll be better in March. Whatever. Neither here nor there. So they played in 2019. Cool. 2020 rolls around. This was the event that was going on. Wasn't it? Didn't they cancel it after the first round?
Yeah, they played the first round.
They played the first round.
Matsuyama set the course record.
Yeah, and then they just canceled because of COVID. They were like, yeah, we're done. And then that was that was the beginning of no sports for fucking 4 months because we didn't get golf back until June or July.
Yeah, something like that.
And then last year they played. I don't think anything crazy happened last year. I think last year was fine. And then this year in 2022, the weather just told them to go fuck themselves. because they got torrential downpour thunderstorms on Thursday, right? So how long were they actually out for on Thursday? Like 6 hours tops?
Something like that.
So they
I don't
they
remember
played
when play
like
got suspended.
they played like 6 hours on Thursday. Then they go out Friday, and I think they played even less, to be honest. Like I think they might have gotten like 3 or 4 hours in on Friday.
I think they stopped around noon
On
because I was
Friday.
like, yeah, because I was waiting for like stuff to get back during my meetings.
Yeah. So there were guys that were finishing their first round of golf on Saturday. The actual first round finished at 2:03 p.m. The last guy put his last putt into the hole on 18 at 2:03 on Saturday. So they completed the first round. It was something like 55 hours and 18 minutes it took to do the first round. And then since then, yesterday on Saturday, everyone just got their absolute fucking dicks kicked in by like 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts on this course. It's just been absolutely wild. And then so today they just finished, and because it got dark, and there's a bunch of guys that are like halfway through their third round. So now tomorrow on Monday, or today when you're listening to this, they have to send guys out first thing Monday morning to finish the third round, and then they start it all over again and play the fourth round. And hopefully they get it in and get it done before 7:30 on Monday night, because that's when it gets dark.
Yeah, they think they're gonna get it in tomorrow.
I hope so.
They got daylight savings time on their side, which is great.
Yeah. Well, yes and no, because all that does is just shift the sun time. Like it's the same amount of sun time. You know what I mean? Like
No, they get an extra hour this time.
It's like instead of the sun rising at 6 p.m. and setting, rising at 6 a.m. and setting at 6 p.m. Well, now it rises at 7 a.m. and sets at 7 p.m. So it's still the same amount of sunlight. It's just shifted an hour later until we get closer to the summer. And then in the summertime, there'll be like fucking whatever, 16 hours of sunlight. But that's the other stupid thing too with daylight savings time. I hate that shit. I think we rail on daylight savings time every time it happens
Every time
on this show.
I fucking hate daylight
It's
savings.
so fucking stupid. And everyone's always like, oh, you'll lose an hour of sleep, or this is terrible. We're going to lose an hour of sleep. Like there are legitimately people that think that you lose an hour of sleep for 6 months because of daylight savings time. They're like, oh, daylight, can you believe we're going to lose an hour of sleep? We're never going to get, it's like, just one night. Like I've had conversations with people before where they're like, what do you mean it's one night? I go, it's just the night that you change the clocks. Like they literally thought that you lose an hour of sleep for 6 months until the next daylight savings time. And then you just gain an hour of sleep every night for fucking 6 more months. I'm like, are you all right?
Those people are dumbasses.
I think I'm 11 regardless.
Yeah. But
I just don't understand why you wouldn't want more daylight in the afternoon. I just for the life of me don't fucking get that.
it's so stupid. It's
Like,
just because of farming.
Why on the East Coast and the Ottoman Empire?
Yeah.
Like why on the East Coast would you rather have dark at 4 p.m. just so that when I get up at when I'm out the door at 5:40, I can see a little bit better. It's still dark.
Yeah, exactly. It's I don't know which one is which. Like when daylight savings comes on and then you turn it off, like I don't know which is when daylight savings is on and which is when daylight savings is off. Like I don't know what's the real time and then what's the daylight savings time.
I feel like it's you turn it on in the winter.
Yeah, so the real time is what we just left. We are in daylight savings right now.
Really? I would have thought it was the other way around. I
Yeah,
would have
same.
thought that I would have what Jones said, that you turn daylight savings on in November.
No.
Huh. That's interesting. That makes it even stupider. Yeah, the rules for daylight savings time changed in 2007 for the first time in more than 20 years.
Wait, so we're changing the rules for daylight savings time in 2007?
Yeah. The new changes were enacted by the Energy Policy Act of 2005, which extended the length of daylight savings in the interest of reducing energy consumption. Get fucked, dude. The rules increased the duration by 1 month. Oh, fuck off. We've been doing this since 2007. We've been doing this for like 15 years now, where we've had longer fucking time. You know what, though? That does make sense, because I always used to think the daylight savings time was in October, but it's in November.
I thought it was too. When I was growing
So
up,
it's
it was
probably because when we were kids, it was in October.
Yeah.
And then once you stop being a child, you stop really giving a shit about daylight savings time.
unless you're 600 years old like us.
Yeah. So yeah, it does. It begins on the second Sunday of March and it ends on the first Sunday of November. So daylight savings is currently switched on, which seems stupid. We should leave it on all the time.
Right.
We should make our time always this. Like, I want more sun in the afternoon because I don't want it to be dark at fucking 4:00 in December. Right? Because then it would be dark at 5:00 in December.
Because generally you want to kill yourself anyways in December.
Yeah, yeah. Like, how fucking stupid. So it's not observed in Hawaii or Arizona.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right.
Yeah, like the Arizona's just like, yeah, you can fuck off. We're not doing this anymore. That's so dumb.
So I'm looking at the rationale right now on Wikipedia, because this is insane. This is an insane thing. By synchronously,
Synchronously, I think.
synchronously,
Yeah.
resetting all clocks in a region to 1 hour ahead of standard time. Individuals who follow a clock-based schedule will wake an hour earlier than they would have otherwise. They will begin and complete daily work routines an hour earlier, and they will have available to them an extra hour of daylight after their workday activities.
Which is bullshit.
But they will have one less hour of daylight at the start of the day, making the policy less practical during winter.
But that's bullshit, because people fucking work late all the fucking time.
People work all types of different shit now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know it's like it's like we don't like okay, so one thing, you'll wake an hour earlier than they would have otherwise. It's like, if you need to get up an hour earlier, you get up an hour earlier.
Right.
The
You
fuck,
just change
the
your
fuck is
alarm.
that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I got no fucking use for that.
I always thought it was because of like farming back in the day, because they changed it so you would get more sun early in the morning in the summertime because it was cooler, right? Because no one wanted to be working in the farm at 4:00 in the afternoon when it's 110 degrees. So you work on the farm at 6 a.m. when it's only 70 degrees.
But why? But again, same thing. Get up an hour earlier.
Right. Well, my thing is like back then they didn't have lights. Like if they first instituted daylight savings time, I'm assuming before electricity was widespread. Like which the whole thing, like electricity and lights make daylight savings time the stupidest fucking thing ever. Oh no, we have to change our clocks because we get more or less sun. Like, oh, we don't have lights? You can't just turn the lights on? Did your cars have headlights? You're on a farm, tractors have headlights. You got lights in your house. You got street lights. You got like, you know what I mean? Like we have plenty of fucking lights everywhere. We don't need daylight savings time. No, we have to change our whole fucking clock because the sun, it's different time for the sun. No. How about you just turn the fucking lights on? There's a strange concept.
Yeah, dude, seriously, I just don't get it, like at all. Because like even if it is farming, okay. So what do they need? They need an extra hour in the morning. So it's like, okay, well maybe you keep an eye on when the fucking sun comes out, and you just wake up when the sun comes out.
Isn't that why you have roosters on a farm to tell you when the fucking sun's up?
Like,
yeah.
what it like you have to change the fucking time of day for everybody because farmers can't figure out when to wake up.
It's pretty selfish.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking
Get up
stupid.
earlier. Yeah, I would say I don't know if the alarm clock was invented in 1908 when the Ottoman Empire started doing this shit, but
like didn't does the whole world do daylight savings time or is it just the United States thing?
Asia and Africa don't.
But Europe does?
Europe probably does. Yeah, it started in Europe. Europe started it. Or
Because
Canada started it.
So that's fucking hilarious because if Africa doesn't do it, you could theoretically be on the same longitude line, right? The same time zone and be two different times. Because like say like Italy, you're in Italy, right? Or you're in Sicily, you're in real Italy. So you're in Sicily and it's 4 p.m. and daylight savings time is on. If you travel 700 miles south to get to whatever's there, Tunisia or Algeria or whatever fucking countries right south, it's 3:00. Like you didn't travel east or west. You just went south. And because Africa doesn't recognize daylight savings time, it's 3:00. Like how fucking stupid is that?
I don't know, dude.
I mean, I also feel like Africa has a lot more problems than just daylight savings time.
Yeah, but it's like it makes me feel like I need to be high for this conversation because now I'm thinking like, dude, like what even is time? Right? Because like
I'm not doing this.
Because we know
Nope.
that when you travel east and west, right, where there's time zones, you switch time zones. But with the Europe and the Africa thing, you could be in the same time zone. That would be like saying, let's make it simpler terms. Mexico. Let's say Mexico was like, no, we're abolishing daylight savings time. That means you could be in El Paso, Texas, and it could be 4:00 when daylight savings is on, and you cross the border and it's 3:00. Like,
I think like
what
whoever employs daylight savings time is just woke as fuck because time is just a human construct. Like time doesn't.
Time is just a construct. But seriously, like what the fuck is time?
Yeah.
I'm not doing
I don't know, dude. Time is a tool you use to create velocity. It's what? No. What is it? Work? Or what is what?
Power is work overtime.
Yeah, that's what it is. Power is work overtime.
Yeah, so time is velocity divided by power. Yeah, figure it out.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like you can change time. Like I don't know. It's like I said. I feel like I need to get high for that conversation.
We're gonna have this conversation like a year from now.
March 5th, 2023, when you can get high.
Yep.
I'm down. I'll write it down on a piece of paper. We'll get super fucking high and be like, dude, what is time? Because the other thing, like, if you can travel at the speed of light, then time moves slower.
Right.
Which is wild. That's like a proven thing. Like you can it's I know it's been in a couple movies, but that physicists have theoretical physicists have not proven, right? Because science, you don't prove anything in science. Fuck off. But like theoretical physicists have pretty much proven that if you move at the speed of light, time moves differently. So you could travel at the speed of light and go to fucking Mars, right? And you then travel at the speed of light and come back from Mars to Earth. In our time, like 17 years could have went by, but in your time, it was like a year. So we're all 17 years older and you've only aged 1 year. I think that literally is Einstein's theory of relativity.
Yeah.
I think that's like time is relative.
Yeah. I think Ant-Man proved that too.
Yeah. Well, it's a theorem. Can't prove anything in science. But there's fuck time. Fuck daylight savings time too.
Oh, we like daylight savings time. We hate standard time.
Oh, we hate standard time. Yeah, that's what it is. Whatever makes it brighter in fucking December. Whatever's going to make the sun set at 5 p.m. instead of 4 p.m., I'm down. So, should we start wrapping this up? We got that time?
We can wrap this up.
All right.
So I'm trying to book tickets to the glue factory. I'm just putting this out there that I've been a good dog, but it might be time to take me out back, because I just sit there and continuously fucking hurt myself now. So going back to November, fall off the scooter in Charlotte, rip my right knee up. Okay.
Yep.
Fuck, I don't have my timeline. Then in January, hitting too many golf balls, I get a stress reaction in my back or my ribs, or so like where my ribs meet my back, because your ribs do go to your back, whatever. So I've been on a fucking pitch count of golf swings since like fucking January, because I ignored it for a while, and then I was like, oh, I'll be good, and then I fucking ignored it again, and I'm just like everybody else. And then when we got I think December, I fell in the shower.
Yes.
Just ass over tea kettle.
Yep.
Then in January, in twice in like a 4-day span, I'm walking Leo, slip on the ice, fall, but that was when we got like 1 million inches of snow, so that one didn't actually cause anything. And then a couple days later, I'm at work and I got the bucket of ice melt because we did outside. I'm walking around, slip on the ice, fall, rip up my left knee now. So great. And that brings us to March's issue. The other night, walking Leo, a little shitty out, whatever. He pulls, I go down. So it's about 10:40, 10:30 at night. My elbow's bruised up. My right knee's bleeding. Not bad. Like, it's not bad, but
yeah.
Whatever. And then at about probably 3 in the morning, probably about 3, my foot is throbbing. And I don't know why.
That's good.
Actually, I forgot about the part where at 10:45 at night, I'm trying to rip through the house to find Band-Aids because I'm trying not to bleed in the bed. Can't find them. Cannot find them. Just cannot. So I'm sitting there, like I'm sitting in the bathroom with a paper towel, just trying to get it to stop bleeding. Maybe that'll work. Michaela eventually wakes up. She finds them. So I get to bed, but then at 3 a.m. for my 5:20 alarm, my foot is throbbing. And I'm like, great. Get up, can't walk. Like, just can't walk. So I get to work, little bit of a panic kick. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I did to myself. I'm like, why did my foot wake me up? So I'm like, did I fucking fracture something? Like, I don't know what the fuck I did. So the day's going and I can start to move it. It was never swollen. I'm like, this is fucking weird. And then like I tell James, I'm like, dude, can you take a look at this at some point today? He never could. Like literally he had people all fucking day.
Yeah.
He said yes, but then he goes, yeah, we'll find time. We never found time. Literally had people all fucking day. So, but I'm like, I'm able to move my ankle a little bit, except one way. And like, it doesn't really hurt, but I can't walk all that well. And I'm like, what in the fuck? Like, what the fuck? How? And I'm trying to like rework through this because where it hurts is it's the deltoid ligament of your ankle, which is on the inside, it's medial. And in order for me to injure that spot, my foot must have got caught because I was walking where the road ends and the mulch begins. So my foot must have got caught when he pulled, which then tripped me, but that's why my ankle was fucked up. Because there's no the mechanism for injuring that spot is like really fucking hard to do. Because like everyone has like rolled an ankle playing sports. I did the exact opposite. So it's like when you roll an ankle, you get your lateral ligaments fucked up. I got the inside fucked up. So I don't know what the fuck happened. But as I'm fucking limping around and like trying to figure this out, and then it wasn't a foot fracture, then I just start getting mad. I'm just like, I serve no more purpose on this planet. Like, again,
it's time for the glue factory.
Yeah, I gotta go to the glue factory. I mean, dude, I've fallen like 5 times since November. Like,
yeah, what are you like 90?
And it's like, well, this is the thing is like, I can explain why I fell every single time. Like Charlotte, shit face on a scooter. When Leo pulled me down the hill, wearing Tim's on ice again at the gym. Shower, just wasn't paying attention. And then this one again, he pulled me and I caught my foot and fell. Like I can explain every single one of these things, but they keep fucking happening. So I think my usefulness is it's all gone.
Do we need to get you the life alert that we were promised Grandpa? Like,
no, because I don't fucking want it. If I go down that bad, if I go down that bad, I don't want to be saved.
Yeah, not worth it.
But then one of my clients was like, oh, you're gonna need like replacement parts pretty soon. I go, I don't know, that or my bones are gonna be super fucking strong, so I keep falling on them.
Yeah, I know, right? It's gonna be one or the other.
Whatever.
It's just a long way of saying you're gonna be Vinny soon. Just unkillable.
That would be such a bomber.
Yeah, I know. Well, also, at least since you invoked Vinny, at least you haven't broken any of these falls with your face.
No, generally it's knees and elbows.
Yeah. Vinny is notorious for breaking falls with his face. It's happened on multiple occasions.
Or drift like he fell on Festivus 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, no, he fell while he was sitting. Like he was sitting in the chair and then just fell forward onto the ground with his ass in the air, face first.
Oh, I wasn't there for that.
And he ended up, he gave himself rug burn on his face. He woke up the next morning with fucking rug burn on his face and was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, man, you fell on your face last night. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, it wasn't that far though, because you were sitting down. You fell sitting down.
Seen that twice now.
I just remember the Festivus when I was up there, and he like ran to the island, and then like just
oh yeah, when all the knives went flying.
Yeah,
and
no, the knives didn't go flying. The knife block was still intact, but he just fucking
like
I thought he broke a rib.
I think he did.
I do think he did that time.
He did break a rib. Yeah, he was out of work for like 2 weeks. But there was another time. There was another time because he didn't just fall into the island once. There was another time he took the island. I think it was with a keg pot. We had a keg. No, he fell into the keg. He fell into the keg. He fell into the keg also.
Yeah, broke that fall with his face.
Yeah. But there was another time he fell into the island in the kitchen and knocked all of the fucking knives off, both sets, both blocks of knives.
Two knives blocks.
And all of the knives went fucking flying. And because it's Vinny, none of them impaled him.
Fucking cockroach.
Yes. He literally cannot die.
Absolute fucking.
Then there was the time he did the Bobby Orr with a glass of red wine, walking from the living room into like where the podcast was, next to the door to the patio. I forget, he had to tripped over something. So he tripped over something carrying a glass of red wine and literally like did the Bobby Orr like in the air.
Kevin Dyson reaching for the end zone.
Yeah. And the red wine just went all over the fucking door. Everything. Like to get onto the patio. It was underneath the folding chair. It was on the bottom part of the folding chair. It was all over the fucking rug that the podcast desk was on. It was just everything was covered in red wine. I think it was after that we decided to buy him a sippy cup.
Yeah, the sippy cups.
Yeah. The amount of times that kid has fallen and like fucked himself up. Like he fell on the very first night when we went to Fagawi. I don't know, God, 4 or 5 years ago now. We went to Fagawi on Nantucket in May. And the first night we got there, he was so shit-faced that he left one of the bars. It was cobblestone roads. He tripped on the cobblestone road and broke the fall with his face. Like he literally landed face first on the fucking cobblestone road and had a massive cut, like right outside of his lip. And I think above his eye for the entire weekend. He had just this fucking these cuts on his face. And when we were leaving on Sunday, we went to go get breakfast before we got on the ferry to come back. So we go all weekend, right? And like no one says anything, nothing happens. Like Vinny's face is all fucked up. The Sunday we go to get breakfast before we get on the ferry. We all sit down at the breakfast table. You know, the waitress comes over, she's going around the table. What do you guys want? Whatever, mimosa, all this shit. She gets to Vinny and she goes, "Oh my God, what happened to your face?" And everyone at the table just fucking bursts into laughter. Because like no one had really called him out for it all weekend until then when we were about to leave. Like we were giving him shit, like just because it's us and we're, you know, at the house or going out, whatever. But like no like outside party had said anything until we were about to leave.
Did he fall in Austin?
I don't know if he hit the deck.
No, thank God for Dats though. He didn't fall because Dats was there. Dats held him up the whole time. So did you hear that story?
No.
So he, not surprisingly, got way too drunk at the first bar that we went to. And we decided to walk down 6th Street, which when me and Dats did it the next day or whenever it was, 2 days later, it was a really fucking far walk. It was like a 20-30 minute walk. And Vinny was so shit-faced that he needed to be like held, like almost like pinballed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
By Nikos and Finn all the way down. And Vinny being a drunk asshole is just talking shit, being like, "Fuck you, you're not gonna fucking, you know, it's not, this isn't my fault." What, like it just, yeah, here we go. Like just being drunk Vinny. So Nikos and Finn essentially carry him for this probably like a mile and a half walk down 6th Street. He doesn't get let into the bar, not surprisingly. And then afterwards turns to them and goes, thank God Dats was here. And Finn and Nikos are like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, Dats didn't do anything. He just walked with us. Like, we fucking carried you. But he was so mad at them for like keeping him upright that he was like, thank God, Dad. Thank God for Dats. So that's been like the calling card. Like, that was like the saying, like, all weekend. We were all like, oh man, thank God for Dats.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, that's if you were there in Guys Weekend last year, they probably would have gotten split up, and they probably would have gotten lost all day that one day.
Well, yeah. Well, thank God for me that they both found their way back.
Yeah. Yeah, Finn wouldn't have found the map if it wasn't for you.
Yeah. I was on a golf course.
Oh man. So Jones, you got a final thought?
Yeah, I do. So I'm the resident Ghost fanboy fucktard in the group, I think. They just dropped an album Friday. I've listened to it about 30 times already. Just offensive, like the amount of listens I've had to this album is disgusting. None of like my friends outside of you guys like Ghost or like even understand what the whole band is about, whatever. I think it's all like satanic and all this. Oh, like you worship Satan, blah blah blah, which is fine. I get that.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't, but like, cool, sure.
Yeah. But I mean, it's such a good album, and I'm just wondering, like, has there ever been an album that you've ever listened to that's bangers, like from start to end, that you just want to tell everyone about how good the album actually is, and they're all like, no, fuck off, like I'm just not gonna listen to it because they suck.
So truthfully, I don't listen to a ton of music anymore. I do every now and then, but I'm mostly consumed by podcasts at this point. But I don't have one that I can think of off the top of my head where I was like, oh, you guys have to listen to this album. And people said, fuck off. But the last album that I did that with, where I listened to it nonstop and was like, every single one of these songs is an absolute banger, believe it or not, was Beer Bongs and Bentleys by Post Malone. That album that came out, I think, in maybe like 2019, 2018. Every fucking song on that album was so good. Because I remember being, at first, I was like such a Post Malone hater. And then that album came out and I was like, wow, he's actually like extremely fucking talented, because he does like, he plays all different instruments and he does all kinds of different shit. And I became a big Post Malone fan. Now, I haven't listened to anything since that album from him, but that's the one album that I would say, that's the last one where I would say I binged it and was like, every single one of these is an absolute banger. But to like your question, like everybody loved that because people love Post Malone. You know what I mean? It wasn't like an obscure one.
I think the thing too is like Ghost is kind of like Devin Townsend, and like they're very niche, and like every album, it's not like the same fucking album all the time. Like if you're like listening to, I don't know, back in the day, like a Mayhem album, you know what you're getting. It's just screamo, fucking saying all this stuff, but I mean, it's very nuanced. It's very, very melodic, and a lot of the stuff they do now, it's kind of like '80s stuff. So like they have nuances to like Bon Jovi and Van Halen.
Okay.
But also get a lot of Devin Townsend, which is cool. But like a lot of people are like all like turned off on it, and like some artists just like go on different like tangents, and it's cool. Like they're just expanding their sound.
Yeah.
It's okay to experiment, and the music's still good. Like it's still really good.
So I don't have an answer for you because I can't think of the last one that I've listened to. But either way, I would never try to share with anyone because no one understands that I like what I like. So there's nothing I can do about that one. But when you said it, the first thing that came to my mind actually was Bullet for My Valentine. I think The Poison was stacked from beginning to end. But to feed off your final thought, for the first time ever, someone actually said, hey, I think you might like this song or this band or something. And for the first time ever, this happened last week, they were correct. James's employee showed me some band. He said he knew someone in it. They only made 5 songs, and then that was it. Like, they were done after that.
Oh, wow.
And I actually like the music for the first fucking time ever. Someone telling me, I think you might like this. They were actually fucking right.
Huh.
Because usually people try to tell me what I like and they have no fucking idea.
I'm trying to think. Maybe Asking Alexandria, their album that came out in like 2017, would be the one, because I was just looking back through my Spotify, and I would say the one that would be like obscure where no one else listened to it, I would say would be Asking Alexandria, the self-titled album in 2017. That was one where I enjoyed it, but they're a band too. Like, especially at that time, people were like, yeah, we don't give a shit.
Slipknot definitely had an album that I know fucking crushed from beginning to end. Now, which one is that? I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I got like all the old In Flames stuff, bangers from beginning to end until like Come Clarity,
Yeah.
where gold.
Yeah. And then oh my god, Soilwork, they had an album that fucking smacked beginning to end.
I mean, if you want to go real far back, Marilyn Manson, Mechanical Animals. That's the one where he had the fake boobs on the album cover. He was like an
That was
alien. What'd you say?
Is it Antichrist Superstar?
No, that's the one with the creepy one. That was 1996, where he had like a creepy face thing on it. He looked like Jigsaw from Saw on the cover. Mechanical Animals was 1998. That was a good one. That was the one with the Dope Show, Rock is Dead, The Drugs Like Me, Coma White, Posthuman. Like those, that was pretty good. I think Antichrist Superstar was also very good. Yes, that's the one with Beautiful People, Tourniquet.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, you go way back. That's Marilyn Manson.
Was Disaster Piece the song from Slipknot that starts out, I want to slit your throat and fuck the wound? Because if it is, I assure you that the opening 2 tracks of Iowa from Slipknot hit harder than anything anyone could ever fucking do. Because
Iowa was very, very heavy.
Because it opens with People Equals Shit.
Yeah.
And then if Disaster Piece is that song that I'm thinking of, that comes out guns blazing.
Oh, also, while I was in New Jersey, I met 2 people from Iowa, and they represent like they Slipknot definitely caters to the demographic.
Yeah. I know, now I'm just looking at like a bunch of shit on
Disaster
Spotify.
Pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they open up with People Equals Shit and then Disaster Piece, and Disaster Piece opens, I want to slit your throat and fuck the wound.
Sick. All right. So then for my final thought, so this past week I had to go get a drug test for the new job. So I gotta find time in my fucking day because I'm teaching, right? So I have to like wait for a day in my schedule where my lunch period lines up with my prep period. So I have enough time to fucking drive, because I can only go to the one in Cumberland, Rhode Island, or the one in Norwood, Massachusetts, which you would think that Norwood is closer to Foxborough, but it's actually not, because it's like, it was a half hour to get from my school to the one in Norwood, and it was 15 minutes to get to the one in Cumberland, Rhode Island. So I make the appointment for the one in Cumberland. I go, I get there, and I don't have an appointment because the website wouldn't allow me to make an appointment. I could make appointments for every other fucking Quest Diagnostics location ever, but not the one in Cumberland. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going here. I got an hour and a half. So it takes me 15 minutes there and back. That gives me, roughly 40 to 50 minutes that I have to like sign up, take the test, do whatever I got to do, you know what I mean? And get back to the school so I can teach my next class. So I'm like, well, here goes nothing. So I drive there, I walk in, and it's like a fucking room with a locked door. And I'm like, what the fuck am I like, what am I supposed to do? There's like a giant TV on the wall, and it's like running like commercials and shit. And there's no one there. There's a glass door with a keypad on it to like go into like the other shit, but it's locked. And I'm like trying to like look through the glass door. Like I don't see anybody. Like, how the fuck does this work? So, cause I'm retarded. So I'm like looking around, whatever. And then on the other side of the TV by the door that I use to walk in, there's a fucking iPad. So I walk over to the iPad and I start hitting it, and you have to like create an account, sign in, do this whole thing. Luckily, because I was the only one there, I only had to wait 5 minutes to do the thing, take the drug test and piss in a cup. But so I fill out the iPad thing. I sit in the chair, and this doctor walks over and goes, "Oh, you're Jared Mello. You're here for a drug test, for a pre-work drug test, whatever the fuck they called it." And I was like, "Yep, that's me." And then he goes, "Okay, someone will be with you in a minute." So I'm like, all right, well, what was the point of you opening the door? Whatever. So a couple more minutes goes by, and this kid walks over to the door and opens it, and he's wearing like I don't even know how to describe it. Like I don't even know what it's called. It's like Jones, you might know what this is, but it's like a protective fucking like sheer. It's not a Johnny. You know what I mean? But it's like a John, like it ties in the back. It's like fluffy, but like it's see-through, like it's sheer, right? So he's got that on. He's got rubber gloves, and he's got this like fucking shitty fucking thing like holding his hair back. But his hair is long and like sticking out, and his beard is all he looks disheveled. He looks homeless. He's probably like, I don't know, he's probably in his mid-20s. But he looks like fucking, like he looks homeless, or like he went out on a weekend long bender and like showed up to work still hungover or some shit. So I'm talking to this guy, and he goes, he looks at me. He goes, "Drug screen?" And I go, yeah, that's me. He goes, "All right, come with me." So I'm like, okay. So I follow him, and we go into this like weird little hallway thing. And I don't know, dude. I'm just trying to be nice. I'm trying to strike conversation. I'm like, "How's your day going?" He doesn't even look at me and goes, "It's all right." And I'm like, "Ah, oh, Jesus, fuck. Here we go. Like this is going to be the fucking guy." Also, like, he's doing my drug test, right? So like, I don't want to piss him off. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be a good person and do like be a nice guy, right? Trying to talk to the guy.
That's what you get for being fucking nice.
So every time I try and talk to the guy, he's just a fucking cunt, right? And then he's like, "Where's your license?" He doesn't go like, "Do you have your can I have your license?" He goes, "Where's your license?" And I go, "Oh, it's in my wallet." And he's like, he just stares at me. So I go and I pull out my wallet, like didn't say like, "Can I need it?" Just said, "Where's your license?" And then stared at me. So I hand him the fucking license. He scans it, takes a picture of it, does whatever he's got to do, and goes, "Pick one of those cups from the stack." I'm like, okay. So I grab a cup, I hand it to him. He like opens it because it's all like in sterilized packaging, whatever. And he pulls all the shit out, and he drops a vial, and it's plastic, but he drops it on the floor and goes, "Oh shit." And he like picks it up, looks at it, and is like, "It's not cracked. So I think you're all right." And I was like, "Do you want me to just grab a new one?" And he goes, "Nah, you're fine." So I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I'm going to fail this fucking drug test because it's going to come back like like a non-sterile sample. You know what I mean? Like something's going to be fucked up in the test. Like I'm going to get fucked, whatever. So I go, he walks around the corner and he opens the bathroom door and he's like, all right, all your shit's got to go in here. So I got to like take my jacket off and empty my pockets, put everything in there. He shuts it, locks it, hands me the cup and goes, all right, wash your hands, whatever, do your thing. And then I thought he was going to stand in the bathroom with me. And then he like left. He left and shut the door. So I was like, all right. But then I'm looking at it. There's no line on the cup. So now I'm like, do I fill it? Like how much do I piss in this? And I'm like, I know I definitely don't have to like fill it to the top, but like there's no line. It doesn't say like fill line. It doesn't say like piss to here. It's just like a fucking cup. So I'm like, okay. So I like piss in it until it's like half full. And then I'm like, all right, I'll just finish pissing in the toilet, I guess. And then, so I go and I open the door and he's literally like creepy, like right in front of the door. So I open the door and he's like, all right, I'll turn the water back on so you can wash your hands again. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know the water was off, but sure. So wash my hands, do the whole thing, whatever. And like, he takes the cup of my urine and then he takes that vial that he dropped on the floor and like pops the top off the vial and then like pours it into the vial until it gets to like a certain point, closes the vial and then dumps my piss and throws away the cup. So I was like, you could have told me that. Like, I clearly didn't need to give you that much piss. You know what I mean? You could have been like, hey, by the way, like, don't fill it. Like, I only need a little bit, whatever. The whole thing was it was just such a fucking wild experience. So the guy is a miserable fucking prick, right? So a kid, really, like he's a kid. Again, disheveled, the whole 9 yards. So he hands me my license back afterwards and prints out the like whatever he prints out. And then he just walks away. And I go, am I all set? And he goes, yeah, your receipt's on the printer. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I like grab the piece of paper off the printer and then just leave. And I'm like blown away. I'm like, this dude interacts with people like every day. And like I was shook. Like I was shook. I was like, what the fuck? Like what just happened? So the whole ride back to the school, I'm like, oh, something like clicked. This poor son of a bitch probably has to deal with people's piss all fucking day long, every single day. Like your job is that you handle people's piss, right? Like that is a significant portion of your job because there was actual doctor, like there was a legitimate doctor with a lab coat and a fucking stethoscope around his neck who originally opened the door and asked me who I was. And then the disheveled 24 hungover kid came over to get me. So I'm like, that's got to be the most miserable fucking job in the world, right? Like all you do is handle people's piss. You give people a cup to piss in, and then you pour their piss into a vial, you close it, you put it somewhere, and then you ship it off. And then 15 minutes later, an hour later, another asshole shows up, they piss in a cup, they hand you their piss, and you got to do the same thing every single day. That's going to be a miserable fucking existence. And then after that, I was like, no wonder why the guy was a dickhead. Like there's probably days where he gets covered in piss, right? Like if he dropped the fucking vial out of the thing, he's got to have dropped the piss before, right? Like, I don't know. So now I'm thinking like, is there a worse job than, I don't even know what that's called, a urine collector?
We'll call him a urine transport engineer.
Yeah. Is there a worse job than a urine transport engineer?
Yeah. Working for 24 trauma, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Working at the DMV or RMV, that's awful.
Yeah. Those were all pretty bad. But like, you don't have to handle people's piss.
I mean, you might at the DMV.
I would prefer to handle people's piss, than work at the DMV.
Oh, I would
That's
too.
fair. That's fair. Yeah.
The DMV is awful.
Yeah, it is pretty shitty. So yeah, I mean, I guess don't be surprised if you have to go take a drug test and give a urine sample, and whoever's collecting your sample is kind of fucking weird and an asshole, because all they do is deal with piss all day long.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. But this is the thing: is just you try to like butter the guy up, and it's like he doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
My thing, the sad part about it is like he's young. Like you'll look at him and you're like, I immediately was like, he's younger than me. Like that's why I imagine he was probably 24, 25, probably like, I don't know. Do you have to go to nursing school for that? Like, I don't know. Maybe he's in nursing school. Maybe he went to like a tech program to do shit. And like, now he works for Quest. I don't know. But like, he's young.
He could be like grinding for like a nursing assistant job, or like to be a nurse, because you have to do like so many hours and shit.
Right.
I mean, nurses deal with that shit all the time. Like
Yeah.
And blood and all that crap.
Oh, maybe people don't retire as a piss collector.
Imagine like that's your entry level job. Like you want to be like something, you got to collect piss for like 3 years first before you can get a promotion. I'd be like, I think I need a new career.
I'm going to change my major.
Yeah, I'm not going to collect piss. So I don't know. I thought the whole experience was interesting. And then, like I said, it clicked on the car ride back to work, where I was like, oh, yeah, he's the piss guy. So that will do it for us. So thank you guys for watching. If you're on YouTube, remember, hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Share us all across all platforms too, if you like. Subscribe wherever you're listening to, or whatever podcast service. Again, share over there. Tell everybody you know about the show. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. Our website, www.sarcasmspeaks.com, features everywhere you can find our podcast, all of the things, all of the links, and also the blog is where I put my my betting stuff now, because fuck Ultimate Sports Networks. I'm not making you guys pay for that shit. If they're not going to pay me, I'm not going to make you guys pay to read my shit. Also, I don't think I'm that important. So I don't think anyone would ever pay to read my shit anyway. So I'll give it to you for free. You can go to the merch store, buy a bunch of the merch. Jones has the coaster right there with our logo on it. It's a very nice coaster. It's a beautiful coaster. Keep your tables dry. You know, that's what that coaster's for. Doing coaster things. And mybookie.com. Go there and sign up using our promo code SarcasmPod to double your first deposit up to $1,000. Also, grillyourassoff.com. Coming up on grilling season. Weather's getting nicer. So go to grillyourassoff.com. Use our promo code SarcasmPod for 15% off your entire order every single time you check out. So that is that. So until next time, good night.